Advance to the absolute peak of human perfection. Human perfection. Human perfection.
Good evening and welcome to QTV. I'm Michael James.
I'm Sharon Mulheron.
And I'm Matthew Bowe.
QTV is Queensland's only GLBTIQ television show and we are very excited to be bringing it to you.
Now, joining us on the couch tonight, we'll have Ruth and Davina who will tell us all about their radio show, Dykes on Mics.
We'll also be talking about many new exciting local events.
But first, the news. Earlier this week, New South Wales Legislative Assembly unanimously passed a motion introduced by Sydney MP Alex Greenwich to welcome Jean Robinson, an American openly gay bishop, to the Australian state.
Greenwich, who is openly gay and married to his boyfriend in Argentina last year, commented, "I was encouraged by the number of speakers in support of equality for same-sex couples and the voices speaking in support of tolerance and acceptance. I'm proud that the New South Wales Parliament was able to put politics aside and at the end of a robust debate to welcome such a prominent and influential individual."
Robinson is first openly gay same-sex marriage bishop in the Anglican Communion of the United States.
That's fantastic. I'm very excited to see a religious figure that is openly gay. There's just more and more stepping out there in the public eye. It's great to see. Now, in more gay news, Australia's youngest parliamentarian, Wyatt Roy, announced his support for marriage equality this week.
Now, he told the media, "I support the right of same-sex couples to have their loving and committed relationships recognised in state-sanctioned marriage."
This announcement quickly followed Shadow Treasurer Joe Hockey's announcement to vote against marriage equality if the coalition granted its members a free vote on the issue. It's really sad. We've got one thing that's absolutely fantastic, Wyatt Roy supporting us, and then we have Joe Hockey, the old guard, I guess, fighting against us. So it's I hope everybody's writing into Wyatt Roy to say thank you and thank you for your support, and we will support you because it's a brave move.
That's a good point, Matt.
And also thanking Kevin Rudd and continuing to ignore everything that Joe Hockey says. Now here's a bit of news from the United States. Last Sunday, Portland football fans stated an anti-homophobia demonstration at a match against California's Chivas.
The spectators held up fabric squares to form a rainbow flag across the stadium. Fans also held up large banners reading "Pride Against Prejudice" and "Football Fans Against Homophobia."
Last month, Timbers player Will Johnson was called a homophobic slur by Alan Gordon of San Jose Earthquakes, to which Johnson responded by scoring the game-winning goal. He remained relatively silent on the issue, stating, "It's a very sensitive matter. I'd prefer the league to go through with their protocol."
More sporting stars. They even had the soccer player from England who came out, Robbie Rogers, I think it was. He's actually now actively playing as well. So more and more coming out in sport.
And it's classy, I mean, isn't it? Not to lash out back or to complain or to make a big deal about it. He's just letting whatever happens, and hopefully people will stand up and support that.
But that image of the rainbow going right across the whole stadium, it just looks fantastic.
Yeah.
I love it.
Now, speaking of happy rainbows, Boy Scouts of America have decided to overturn a ban to allow gay youth members to join their programs. After the announcement, the BSA Chief Executive Wayne Brock said that this has been a challenging chapter in our history. While people have differing opinions on this policy, kids are better off when they're in scouting.
Now, some seem to disagree. Texas Governor Rick Perry was unhappy about the change, commenting, "While I always cherish my time as a scout and the life lessons I learned, I am greatly disappointed with this decision."
However, for Boy Scouts like Pascal Tesla, an openly gay 16-year-old from Maryland, they were elated by the outcome. Tesla was worried about that if the proposed change had been rejected, his dream to earn his Eagle Scout award would be ruined, saying, "I was thinking that today could be my last day as a Boy Scout." Obviously, for gay scouts like me, this vote is life-changing.
But what I want to know is what happens later on, so when they want to get into the hierarchy, because this is just a change for the youth. So it's something everybody should look into and put their 2 bits in about.
Well, I think the movement starts now, and it can only get better from there. Canadian Blood Services has announced new guidelines, and men who have not had sex with other men within the last 5 years will now be allowed to donate blood.
Now, although the blood is tested for diseases, the 1-year deferral period helps infections like hepatitis B, which disproportionately affect gay and bisexual men, to be properly detected.
The Vice President Dana Devine commented, "We recognise that many people will feel that this change does not go far enough, but given the history of the blood system in Canada, we see this as a first and prudent step forward on this policy. It's the right thing to do, and we are committed to regular reviewing this policy as additional data emerge and new technologies are implemented."
Hopefully we can see that evolve a little bit more there. Now, our last story for the week. Last week, the world was devastated to hear, and I personally was as well, that the Rocky Horror Picture Show's Tim Curry had recently suffered a major stroke.
His publicist, Marcia Hewitz, has now clarified that his health struggle is somewhat dated.
The 67-year-old experienced a stroke last July, and he has been going to physical therapy ever since. Hurwitz reassured his fans, saying he's doing very well and in great humour. He thanks everyone for sending him good wishes.
I hope he gets better soon. Tim Curry, Rocky Horror, my life. So. Now, that's the news for this week. If you have any stories or issues that you would like to see covered, leave a message on our Facebook page or tweet it to us. Or you can send an email to our producer, steve.whiteley@31.com.au. Now we'll be back after this short break with more QTV.